Hey guys, it's Tamara. I'm back with another video today. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I figured that instead of a Wednesday video, I would answer a good question about triangulation. So we're just going to go ahead and jump into that. So today's topic is about triangulation, and I'm going to break it down just a little bit for you. So today I'm just going to answer the question that I got from someone from British Columbia. And it was pretty awesome of a question because it really does allow me to explain what triangulation is a little bit more in depth. So let me read this. The question was, hi Tamara, thank you so much for your channel. I love all the topics that you talk about. Thank you so much, Amanda. I love that. She says, if I can pull it up, guys. Oh, she says triangulation has been something that you've talked about in the past, not only on video, but also on your blog. She says, I feel that I've been triangulated multiple times by my great-grandmother who tends to be abusive. Wow. She says, I'm a firm believer in setting boundaries, but for some reason this person has gotten over on me quite a few times. And I think I'm vulnerable because she's my favorite grandmother. Can you talk a little bit about triangulation and what it is? Yes, I can, Amanda. That's a good question. So, triangulation is basically the idea that an individual who is emotionally immature or emotionally distraught and chaotic, and they don't have the ability to work through it themselves and kind of remedy it themselves. Instead, they go off and they talk to other people and they, kind of circulate things. And before you know it, there's rumors and people's attitudes have changed towards you, and the dynamics between you and other people in that triangle has changed. So triangulation really is the idea that one particular person who regards themselves as the victim has put two people in a position they were not aware they were in. So in other words, let's say your great-grandmother is the victim in this situation. You've become the persecutor to her, right? And she's going to play the victim to the helper, who is most likely another family member of yours or a good friend. And in that triangle, there's a lot of abusive and unintentional mismanagement of emotions going on. And what I mean by that, unintentional, is that sometimes the persecutor and the helper come together in that triangle, and the victim is still standing up there like, what's going on here? I thought I was getting support from the helper, and now I'm not. And so when that happens, the victim goes outside of that triangle and pulls in another person. And so now you've got three people involved instead of the two. And it becomes this big, big chaotic situation. So when you're thinking about a triangle, I'm gonna draw this out for you just so that you can see it a little bit here. When you're thinking of a triangle, I want you to think of three important roles. The first role is the victim, okay, and that's most likely your great-grandmother. The next one is the persecutor, and the persecutor is the one who points the fingers and tries to make the victim or the helper look like they're crazy. All right. And then we also have the helper, and that's the person who will get in the middle and try to fix things. Sometimes they don't fix a thing. Sometimes they make everything worse. So here's how I want you to conceive of this. And so you've got the victim, you've got the persecutor, and you also have the helper. And these are the roles that the manipulator or the victim puts people in. And like I said, they will go to whatever extreme they need to go to pull in a third person to that triangle to create a problem. Okay, now there's one thing in this triangle that I want to mention, Amanda. I want to mention what's called reenactments. Okay, and what I mean by that, and sometimes that happens right in the middle of that triangle. The reenactment happens. And what I mean by reenactments is that, let's say the victim had a very abusive upbringing. Your great-grandmother had a very abusive upbringing. And she is using the situation between you and her, and now the helper, to kind of reenact something that happened in her life years ago. And maybe she's aware of it, and maybe she's not aware of it. Maybe it's intentional, and maybe it's unintentional. We don't always know. But a reenactment is a psychological concept that basically gets at the point or the idea that you are reenacting or redoing a situation that happened in your past that had some major or traumatic influence upon you. Okay, that's basically what the reenactment is. And so sometimes in that triangle, there's a reenactment of a previous situation. And so that just kind of cements all the emotions for the victim, and it makes the victim feel like they're even more persecuted and mistreated. Okay, so thank you so much, Amanda, for that question. That was a great question. I am going to come back on Friday with another video, and then I'm going to be out for one last conference this month, all next week. But I did do some pre-videos for you just to help wrap up May just a little bit, get us closer to the end of the month. And so we're going to focus on that, and then we're going to stay on track. And then we're going to jump into a whole new series next month. If there's something that you want me to talk about, or you have an idea about something, or you're kind of perplexed about something you heard and you would like me to kind of pull it apart for you, let me know in the comment section below. I always welcome your comments. So thank you so much, guys, for being with me today in this video. I will see you again in the next 2 days. Bye-bye.